Hello, dear friends. Sveiki, dargie draugi. Labvakar visiem. Good evening, everybody. My name is Gerard, and I'm learning and teaching the Latvian language. Es mācos un arī mācu latviešu valodu. Un šodien mēs turpināsim ar sesto nodarbību. So tonight we will continue with the sixth lesson. And the last time we have seen the personal pronouns in Latvian. Pēdējā reize mēs skatījāmies personu vietniekvārdus un arī norādāmo vietniekvārdus, kas var arī būt īpašības vārdi. Un mēs skatījāmies, īstenībā mēs vēl neesam skatījāmiejuši tos, tāpēc šajā daļā mēs to darīsim. Ko mēs darījām pēdējā reize? Mēs skatījāmies vienkārši personu vietniekvārdus, bet šajā daļā mēs skatīsimies arī norādāmo vietniekvārdus, kas var arī būt īpašības vārdi, un mēs tos paskatīsimies viņu pamata formās. So, sorry guys, I tried to speak Latvian a little bit at the beginning of this lesson. So what I said was that the last time we saw only the personal pronouns, the personu vietniekvārdi. If I'm speaking Latvian, I have to change the ending, so it's a little bit difficult here to tell you the truth. So personal pronouns, we have seen them in Latvian, what they are. So es, tu, viņš, viņa, un arī tas un tā, mēs, jūs, viņi, viņas. And so the second part, the pronouns and the adjectives in their basic forms, which is called Norādāmie vietniekvārdi, that can also be adjectives like īpašības vārdi in their basic form, to pamata formās. We haven't seen them yet. And in this second part, as you can see, this is lesson 6, part 2, we will look at these. Alright guys, I hope that this introduction is not too confusing. And we will certainly look again at those personal pronouns just to refresh our minds, and then we will move forward. So again, labvakar visiem, laipni lūgti latviešu valodas kursā Learn Latvian Easily. So once again, good evening and welcome to the Latvian language course Learn Latvian Easily. Šī ir sestā nodarbība, otrā daļa. This is lesson 6, second part. Well, now what I'm gonna do, sorry guys, I have my camera once again doing stuffs. Let me try to remove everything. Alright, sorry about that. And yeah, alright, so let's have a look. Paskatīsimies vēlreiz latviešu personu vietniekvārdus. So let's look at the personal pronouns, the Latvian personal pronouns once again. So we have I for S, this is how you say I in Latvian. You, singular, informal, is tu, you, tu. And he is viņš, nye, notice the palatalized N here. Viņš, nye. It's not viņš, it's viņš. It's not vince or vin. You have to do the sh at the end, of course, because this is the special word Latvian letter. Is the special Latvian letter sh. So you have to say vin, viņš. Yeah, viņš. He is viņš, and she is viņa, viņa. For the palatalization of such consonants, we usually make reference to the word canyon in English. So canyon has this N and Y, and it makes the sound ny. And this is exactly the sound of the palatalized N here. So ny, like in canyon. Alright, so, and then we have it, the pronoun it. It can be masculine or feminine. It can be either masculine or feminine in Latvian. So it can be tas for masculine or tā with the macron, the garumzīme. So tas, it means it, masculine, and tā, it means also it, but for feminine nouns. And then we have we. We is mass with the garumzīme. You, plural or formal. So if you are being polite and showing respect and so on, or if you are addressing yourself to many people, you want to say you guys. So you use use. You don't use to, like we saw in second singular person. You have to use use. It's a long vowel u. Use. And then we have they. They can be either masculine or feminine. For the masculine version, you have viņi, and for the feminine version, you have viņas. Alright, so I just want to say that for it, let's say there are like many tables. You can say that it is a table. Tas ir galds. We have seen this example the last time. I can write it. Tas ir galds. Yeah. But which means in English, it is a table. Yeah. Tas can also mean this. Can also mean that. Sorry. There's another word for this in Latvian. So, yeah, tas ir galds. It is a table. But what if you want to say these are tables? These are tables. So then you will have tie ir galds. Tie galds. We will definitely have to work more with that. But tie galdi, sorry. Because galds also have to be changed into plural. Tie galdi. So literally you're saying those. It's not even these, it's those. Those are tables. Not even these, yeah. Be careful, guys, yeah. Because in Latvian language is quite interesting. Yeah. Singular form, you will say it is a table. So tas ir galds. But if you want to say those are tables, not these, because there is another, another word for it in Latvian. It's I think it's šie. Yeah. That will be those, because like I said, tas can be this, can mean this, and then you have tie is those, but no, sorry, that is tas is that. Let me be a little bit clearer about these things. Alright, I'm gonna write it, guys. I'm so sorry because it's a little bit difficult to explain. So you have šis, this, you have that, which is tas. I'm gonna write it. It's not part of what I have prepared for this lesson, but I just want to add these for reference, for later reference, let's say. Šie, and then we have those. Alright. Those are going to be how are they going to be? Wait a second. Tie, yeah. Those are going to be tie. Alright, really interesting to know. I'm gonna put this, let me make this one smaller, and I'm just gonna squeeze this in the middle. Alright guys, look at this. Look at this, please. So this in Latvian is šis, and that is tas. And these are šie, and those are tie. But this is only for masculine, you know? This is only for masculine. If you wanted to say this, which is feminine, you also have some other words. So, you know, everything can be masculine or feminine. So that's how it is in Latvian. So for the female version, you will have so she instead of šis, you will have she. I'm gonna write it. I think it's gonna be easier this way. So she, and then you have for that it's gonna be ta, yeah, and for she, it's gonna be she's, Monikas, she's, yeah, she's like this, she's, and then you have those are tas. Holy moly, yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. You're saying, oh my god, that's so complicated, you know. But don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So here it is, guys. So this can be šis, or she. So šis, it's for the masculine. I can also try to put well, there's the masculine and the feminine. Let me make it pretty. That was not what I intended to do today for this lesson, but why not? Why not? I think then you get a complete understanding of what we're doing and why I am being, you know, so how to say, precautious, yeah, precautious. So for male, so I have put an M, so you have šis, which is this, tas is for that, she for these, and tie for those. And for female with the F, it's she, and that is ta, and these are she's, and those are tas for the female version, right? So that's why I was trying to tell you that tas and ta can also mean it, just it, you know. And I'm gonna write it here also. It's interesting. It's very interesting, you know. So I'm gonna put this here. So next to tas and ta, I have written it. It means that these two words, tas and ta, tas being for masculine, singular masculine, and ta for feminine, singular feminine, yeah. Tas for singular masculine, ta for singular feminine. These can mean that, or it can also mean it. So when we are studying the personal pronouns, we are using it as it. So, for instance, tas ir galds, it can be that is a table, but it can also mean it is a table. So that's what I wanted to say. But if we will say tie ir galdi, so those are tables. If we want to say this, these are tables, so we will, it's not gonna work. You know why? Because in Latvian, you don't say this is a table. You say that is a table or it is a table. And you don't say these are tables. You say those are tables. Tie ir galdi. Oh, because you know why? It's because they say tie galdi, so those table. They don't say these. but sometimes they can also say Shegaldi, like it's kind of demonstrative, right? But that's exactly what we're gonna study today. These things. Actually, I forgot completely. I thought, my apologies. I am so sorry. Pietro did, but actually, that's why I wanted to add this to the lesson. That's what we're gonna study today in the second part. Those nuances between this, that, these, those, and the fact that tas and ta can mean either it or that. So we will see. So when you're using demonstrative pronouns, that's exactly the theme of today, lesson of today's lesson. Yeah. So let's look at this. So this is already a good start. We see the importance of using those demonstrative articles. In English, we call them demonstrative articles, but in Latvian, I think we call it demonstrative Norādāmie, not īpašības vārdi, but it can be īpašības vārdi, or we can Norādāmie vietniekvārdi, so pronouns. So demonstrative pronouns, that's how we call it. But I think in English we call them simply demonstrative articles. This, that, these, those, because we have the, and then we have this, that, these, those. All right, guys, I'm really sorry. That's how it is. I sometimes mix things up, and well, I hope, however, nonetheless, you managed to understand something out of what I said. All right, let's move on, guys. Quite surprising to me is that I actually plan to explain exactly what I try to do freestyle, and yeah, so it's kind of natural, the natural flow of of learning Latvian. So to move from the personal pronouns to these demonstrative articles. But there are no articles in the Latvian language, by the way. They don't make use of articles. Yeah. So that's something to bear in mind. All right, mastering Latvian pronouns and adjectives. They call them adjectives. īpašības vārdi. So this lesson will cover demonstrative pronouns. So demonstrative pronouns, that's not how we call them, but yeah, demonstrative pronouns and adjectives in the basic form, like how they are written in the dictionary, nominative case. Yeah. Once again, there are 7 cases in the Latvian language, and the nominative is the dictionary form. So that's how they're written. And we can also say in the basic form, therefore. And so we have nominative, genitive, accusative, dative. We have locative, we have instrumental, and we have what is missing? Instrumental and also vocative. So once again, nominative, genitive, accusative, dative, locative, instrumental, and vocative. All right, so let's move on. This lesson will cover demonstrative pronouns, adjectives in their basic forms. So Latvian lesson concerning these. So we have just seen these let's say demonstrative pronouns: she, she's, tas, ta, she's, she, tas, and tie. So amazing, right? Because we just naturally went to explain these, and yeah, it turned out that we had already prepared this, and that's what we intended to teach today and to learn today. So what I'm gonna do, however, is to write once again what these mean. So this and that and these and those. right. So we just look at these things, but I'm just gonna rewrite it, yeah. And then now we're gonna try to sort these demonstrative pronouns in two categories in respect of the gender. So we're gonna have masculine and feminine. So let's do that, and let's write, I don't know, let's say the blue is gonna be for the guy. So this is she's, right? And then we have that. Is it that? Yeah, that is tas. And after tas we have she, and then we have tie. All right. So here we go. These are for the, here you go. These are for the masculine nouns. And now let's try to write, we're sorting them out, yeah? We're trying to sort them out. This is already an exercise, guys. Let's use pink for the masculine one. So pink. Okay, we're getting there. Guys, what's going on here? I just lost this. Yeah, incredible. All right, let me write it quickly. We have she's. What do we have? She's. We have das. We have she, and we have tie. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I just rewrote it. Apply, and now let's try to do a good job. We're gonna choose the pink color, like I said, and we're gonna write she, and then we have ta, and then we have she's, and then we have tas, you know. Yeah. All right, guys, that's how it looks. So this can be she's or she, depending whether it's male or female. And like I did previously, I'm just gonna write so male and female, so you know what we're talking about. Male and female. So we have sorted these you know, these demonstrative pronouns in respect to the gender, so masculine or feminine. All right, so that's very important. Now we're gonna learn more about these. Let's go. Remove all these, yeah, and I'm gonna also put one more text. All right, I hope it's gonna fit. Yeah, no problem. So these words are demonstratives. You know, when you say this is a table, that is a table, or these are tables and those are tables, and it can be this is a book, and so on and so on. I'm changing nouns because table is masculine in Latvian and book is feminine in Latvian. So that's why I wanted to give these two examples. So the core distinction is she's, she, and she's means this and these. So we know that when we're using these demonstratives, the speaker is near the object, near the speaker. So the object is near the speaker, or the speaker is near the object he's speaking about. All right. And when we use tas, ta, tie, and tas, which means that and those, so then the objects, because it's plural now, so it's gonna be away from the speaker. So the speaker is away from the objects, or the objects are away from the speaker. All right, so they must agree with the noun they refer to in gender, number, and case. Don't worry about the case because we are studying them in their nominative form, their basic form. And but we have seen that gender is important and number is important, both of them. The gender can be masculine or feminine, and number can be singular or plural. So this lesson focuses on the nominative case, the subject form. So it's subject form, that's another way to say it, subject form, the thing that is doing the action, basically, the verb. What we're gonna try to see how to identify, once again, whether a noun is masculine or feminine. So here is a grid. So how to identify whether something is singular or plural for the number, and also for the gender, so whether the noun is masculine or feminine. So this she's and this she, both they means this, and for that you have tas means that, and ta means that also. And for this, she means this, and she's means this. Those, tie means those, and tas means those. The only difference is that she's, tas, she, tie are masculine, and feminine she, ta, she's, tas. And the first two, this and that, she's, tas, and she and ta, they are what? They are singular. And when you get to these and those, it's already plural. So I'm gonna just write something here. I'm just gonna write something to help you to understand what we're doing. So guys, this is singular, sing, and I will write plural here. So that's how you can tell. So the first part is singular, and the second part is plural. So this and that, this and that, yes, she's, tas, she, ta are singular, and she, tie, she's, and tas are plural. So how to know the gender? Masculine nouns typically end in s or sh or is. Okay, is. And feminine nouns typically end in a or the letter e, but there are exceptions, so you have to know the exceptions. But this is just a general rule how to identify a noun. For example, galds, we know it ends with an s, so it is masculine. Gramata ends with an a, so it is feminine. All right, but there are exceptions, right? Some examples. We have talked about these things quite a lot now. Yeah, we've been speaking about these things quite a lot. Now we're just gonna look at some examples to make things a little bit clearer in our heads. Yeah. All right. So here it is. Examples in context. So functioning as adjectives with a noun. So šis vīrs ir mans tevs. Šis vīrs ir mans tevs. This man. So vīrs can be husband, or it can also mean just a man. So vīrs can be husband or just man. There is another word for man in Latvian. It's vīrietis. So, but vīrs is husband, basically. But here it means man also. So šis vīrs is ir mans tevs, which means this man is my father. Tevs means father, tevs. Mans means my. So šis vīrs ir mans tevs. This man is my father. Šis vīrs is ir. Sorry guys. Šis vīrs ir mans tevs. This man is my father. Šis vīrs ir mans tevs. This man is my father. Let's look at the next demonstrative adjective. So we have she grāmata ir ļoti interesanta. This book is very interesting. So she grāmata. So for virs we have used šis because virs is masculine. The ending is s, like we saw. If a noun ends with s, it is masculine in most cases. But if it ends with an a, like with the letter a, like in grāmata, which means book, it is feminine in general. So šī grāmata ir ļoti interesanta. This book is very interesting. Now let's look at so when we're talking about šis vīrs ir mans tēvs, so the man is my father. The man actually is close to the speaker because he said, this man is my father. And same when the person is saying, šī grāmata ir ļoti interesanta. This book is very interesting. The book is close to the speaker. That's why he is using this, yeah? But now if the object is far from or at a distance from the speaker, we're gonna use tas. Tas zīmolis ir uz galda. Tas zīmolis ir uz galda. That pencil is on the table. So at a distance, on the table, yeah? And here we are using tas for that because zīmolis, which means pencil, it ends with is. You know, this ending gives us an indication that it is a masculine noun. So we have to use tas for that. And the next one is tā sieviete, which means woman. Tā sieviete strādā veikalā. So that woman works in a shop. So the woman is not close to the speaker because he's using tā for a feminine noun. Sieviete, which means woman, it ends with e, the letter e, and it is a feminine noun. So tā sieviete strādā veikalā. Veikalā means shop, in the shop, basically, because it's in the locative case here. We will learn about the locative case later on. Now, let's look at the plural demonstrative pronouns. We have seen šis, she, tas, and tā. Now let's begin with the second part, the plural demonstrative pronoun. So we have seen that zīmolis means pencil, and when we say that, we say das. But what about pencils that are close to us? We will say šis zīmolis, but here we have many zīmolis, so we have to say šie zīmoli. Šie zīmoli ir jauni. These pencils are new. So there are a lot of things happening here. First, we are using šie because we cannot use šis because it's a plural. And also we are using šie because the pencils are close to us, yeah, or close to us, and also because zīmolis is masculine, so we have to use šie here. That's how we know what adjective to use. So šie zīmoli. Notice that zīmolis become zīmoli in plural form, and šie zīmoli ir jauni. They are new. So these pencils are new. Now let's look at the plural feminine example. We have seen, for example, šī grāmata ir ļoti interesanta. But what if there are many books? Then we have to say šīs grāmatas ir grūtas. Šīs grāmatas ir grūtas. These books are difficult. Grūtas, like lasīšanai, for reading. They're difficult for reading. Yeah? So šīs grāmatas ir grūtas lasīšanai. Yeah? Yeah, so here we cannot say she because she is feminine, yeah, feminine demonstrative pronoun, and also because the object is close to us. But here there are many, so we have to say she's. All right, so I hope you get the idea. Now we have tie of those, and those masculine. We have an example given here. Tie kresli ir leti. Tie kresli ir leti. Those chairs are cheap. So tie kresli ir leti. First of all, we're using tie because the chairs are far from us. They are at a distance from us. And why we're using tie, it's because it's plural. There are many chairs. And also, kresels, it's a masculine word. And it's in plural form, it becomes kresli. So that's why we use tie. Tie kresli ir leti. Those chairs are cheap. And now we have sievietes. Tās sievietes ir skolotājas. So those women are teachers. So now, why do we know we have to use tās instead of anything else? First, because the women we're speaking of, they are at a distance and they're not close to us. So we have to use something that refers to those far away. And since there are many, it's a plural here. It's not sieviete, but it's sievietes. So we have to say tās. We cannot say tā because it's not singular, it's plural. Tās sievietes ir skolotājas. And you can see skolotāja becomes skolotājas because it's in its plural form. All right, very well. I think we have studied all these examples and we have discussed why we're using these. Because of the number, is it singular or plural? Because of the gender, is it masculine or feminine? And also, when we're talking about demonstrative pronouns, we have to know whether it's we're talking about something that is close to us or far from us, at a distance from us. And one thing that we are not looking at is the case, because we're only studying these adjectives or demonstrative pronouns in their nominative form. Yeah? All right. So we are going to look a little bit further into these things. So sometimes we have seen those demonstrative pronouns used as adjective with a noun. So, for example, we're saying this man and so on and so on. We say that these are adjectives. They are not articles in Latvian. But there is also the possibility to consider them as pronouns. So which means that instead of naming the object or the person, we are going to use these pronouns. So they are going to substitute the name. For example, instead of saying table, we're going to say it, or that, or this, the examples we are given here, the examples that we have here, or that we have been given here, are, for the first one, it's kas tas ir? What is this? What is this? Kas tas ir? Tas ir galds. That's a table. Like I said, in Latvian, they don't tend to say, this is a table. They don't say, šis ir galds. They say, tas ir galds. That's a table. So it's the way they speak. They don't say šis ir table. Because when you use she, and I tried to say that, before, before we even began doing the lesson. Because when we say this, we are already like, we know exactly what this is, We don't say, but when they say that is something, they want to probably name the thing, the object, or identify it. But in general, yeah, they don't use this, they use that. That's how the Latvian language is. So, kas tas ir? Tas ir galds. So, what is that? That's a table. That's a table. What is that? That's a table. Kas tas ir? Tas ir galds. Let's look at another example. Kas tā ir? So, we know that it's feminine. Tā ir roka. Tā ir roka. And what is roka? Roka means hen. What is that? That's a hen. That's a hen. Kuri ir tavi? Kuri ir tavi? Where? Kuri, no, kuri, it's which ones are yours, actually. This is something that we haven't seen. We haven't studied. Kuri. Because there's kurš. I'm gonna write these guys. I think this lesson is more complicated than I was thinking initially. So, yeah, definitely, man. My dear friend. Initially I was like thinking it's gonna be so simple. Yeah. But it's not. It's not simple at all. Because there's so many things to bear in mind, and we have to be a little bit pragmatic into teaching them. Alright, that's what I'm gonna write here. So, look at this. Kurš, kuri, and kura, and kuras. Kurš means which, but it can also means like who. If you're speaking of a person, kurš will be who, but it can also, basically, yeah, it can be used because there's also kāds, kādi, and kāda, and kādas. So, yeah, let me write these things. There's so many things in the Latvian language, guys. You would be astonished, to find out by yourself how. But I don't think it's the only language having so many words, like to differentiate the whether it's an inanimated object or a person and so on. Like here I just added the formal words, and kāds, kādi, kāda, and kādas. The first two at the top are masculine, and the two at the bottom, kāda and kādas, they are feminine. But kurš and kuri, usually we talk about people, masculine people, and kura and kuras, or feminine people. And then we have kāds and kādi, and then we have kāda and kādas. So it also means like which. But the difference is that kurš, kuri, kura, kuras, they are used to say which one, or which one, yeah, or yeah, which one. But kāds, kādi, kādas, and kāda, kādas, these are like more like what type, kāda diena, like what kind of day did you have? Tev bija, kāda diena tev bija? Kā gāja, kāda diena tev bija šodien? Was it a good day, or bija laba diena vai slikta diena? Was it a good day or a bad day? Yeah. So when we use kāds, it's more like what type. But when we use kurš, kuri, kura, kuras, they are more like which one, yeah, or which ones, yeah, for plural. All right, so sorry about that, but I thought that it would be interesting and insightful to put these here. So kuri ertavi. So which ones are yours? That's the right way to say it. Which ones are yours? Sheyermani. These are mine. These are mine. My tongue. I have only one. My tongue is twisting, blah, 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 and rolling. So kuri ertavi. Which ones are yours? Sheyermani. These are mine. And why do we use kuri here? Why do we use she? Sorry, because this word kuri, I had to explain what it means, it means which ones, And she here is because we have used tavi. Tavi, it's like yours, masculine, plural. So we have to use she. And we also have to use mani instead of manas, or mana, or mans. So we haven't studied the possessive adjectives, but they also have to be in agreement in terms of gender and number and cases. So that's why Latvian is a beautiful language. But of course, this grammatical difficulty is not only in the Latvian language, but using cases and having so many, differentiation between masculine and feminine. It makes things a little bit complicated for those who are not initiated. Once you have understood the fundamentals of the Latvian language, you will really like using this language. I bet you will. So, kuras ir skaitas. So, by using kuras here, we're talking about which ones, but for feminine, a feminine plural nouns, for feminine plural nouns. Because it's not kura, it's kuras. And we know kura means feminine, which one, feminine, and kuras, that it's in plural. So kuras is skaitas. It's not skaita, it's skaistas. Tās ir skaistas. So those are beautiful. Tās, we don't say ta, we say tās, because it's plural. Yes, skaistas, yeah. Alright, so guys, I know maybe you're not understanding 100%, but hopefully you understand a little bit more than before you watch this lesson. Alright, so that's what I'm hoping. We're gonna have some practice. We're gonna practice a bit, and we're gonna get used to these demonstrative adjectives, or how do we call pronouns, because they can be used in both ways in Latvian language. So here's the third part, important nuances and tip. The first one, tās for concepts, ideas, and general statements. What am I saying? Tās is used for concepts, ideas, and general statements. The masculine tās is often used for abstract concepts like the English it. Tas ir labi, so that is good, or it is good. And tas ir smieklīgi. Smieklīgi means funny, so tas ir smieklīgi. This is funny. But smieklīgi is an adverb here. Because basically they are saying that this is being hilarious, hilarious, yeah. This is being funny, Kas tas ir? What is this? Or what is that? What is it? Or what is that? Yeah, not this, but what is it? Or what is that? That's how they speak. They don't say what is this, they say what is that? Yeah. And I said that already many times, but just remember, they don't say kas šis ir, they say kas tas ir. Okay, the next point is distance can be psychological. She's and she can refer to something you feel close to or involved with, while tās and tā can refer to something distant or not your concern. You can distance yourself psychologically, not only physically. That's what is being said here. And we have some examples given. She mana valoda. This language, she mana valoda. Basically, we're saying this is my language, this language of mine. Not really this language of mine. I would say the best translation would be this is my language. No. She ir mana valoda would be this is my language, but that's correct. She mana valoda, this language of mine. Correct. My apologies. And then we have another one, which I will show you. Just have to move the slide a little bit up. And just bear with me. I'm gonna do that. Alright, so distant can be psychological. She can refer to something you feel close to or involved with, while tas and ta can refer to something distant or not your concern. She, mana valoda, this language of mine. And the other example is tas viņu darbs. That is their job. Yeah, that is their job, not mine. So I'm detached from this job. It's not my concern. That's why I'm using tas. That, you're distancing yourself psychologically from the task, from the object, from the thing, and so on. All right, I think that was very helpful. Let's move on to do some exercises, because we have learned very well about the different demonstrative pronouns or adjectives. Now we're gonna try to use them, and that's